Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Tuesday, April 1st, 2025. Let's take a look what do we have in economic calendar for today. Asian session was quite interesting. We got first data from Japan. As you can see, plenty of the Tankan indexes were published: manufacturing outlook, manufacturing index, non-manufacturing index, and stuff like this. This is mixed bag of data. In some parts this index is better than expected, in some parts it is worse than expected. Generally it doesn't actually looks pretty bad, so the Japanese might strengthen a little bit across the board. RBA interest rate decision was published overnight, and the Reserve Bank of Australia decided to keep the interest rate at the level of 4.10% as expected. RBA statement was issued as well. Retail sales from Australia were issued as well, were tad lower than expected, 0.3%, with the actual number of 0.2%. Cakes in manufacturing PMI data from China beats the expectations of 50.6 with the actual number of 51.2 and the previous number of 50.8. We smoothly entered the London session. We got data from the UK nationwide HPI at the level of 0%, worse than expected. Retail sales in Switzerland up, better than expected, 1.5%, but down from the previous number, 2.9%. And now, as the first day of the new month, we are waiting a new quarter, basically first day of the new month and new quarter. We are waiting for the manufacturing PMIs from across the Eurozone. As you can see, at 10 o'clock we got the whole manufacturing PMI data for the whole Eurozone. Then we got the manufacturing PMI data from the UK, 10:30 at 11 o'clock. CPI data from the Eurozone, unemployment rate, core CPI, and monthly CPI as well. At 2:30 we got ECB President Christine Lagarde to give a speech, and then we enter the US session, and again PMIs. Global manufacturing PMI is scheduled for release at 3:45. At 4 o'clock we got ISM manufacturing PMI data and the JOLTS job openings, together with the global daily trade price index from New Zealand. At the end of the day, we got the ECB Lane to give a speech at 8:30, and at 7 o'clock Atlanta Fed GDP. Now, well, quite a busy day with data releases, so please stay focused, stay vigilant, as there might be some data that will affect the quotations, the data flow on the markets. Let's start the technical part. We start with euro dollar. So we already have some kind of a movement on the euro dollar. 100 periods moving average on 4-hour time frame chart had been tested, and the price were rejected from 1.0849. You can see first test, second test, and then we got this green candle with the momentum moving below the level of 50. So we retraced 50% of this down swing. So that's the retracement movement. Three waves: A, B, C. Free wave retracement is always corrective. The movement has been pretty much solid towards the 50% and towards the 100 periods moving average on a 4-hour time frame chart. Now the market is ready to test the yesterday's low, 1.0785, or even the low from the March 28, 1.0765. The major technical support is still located at 1.0733. Let me just remove this Fibonacci, because it looks like we already retraced 50%, so we don't need it anymore. And after the breakout above this trend line, we might now move our trend line a little bit. Let me just play around with this trend line. There you go. So we will do this in a different way. So that's the swing low, and this is the current situation, right? So the market is testing the trend line. Any breakout lower opens the road towards this and this and this low. So euro dollar looking bearish. Let's take a look at the Australian dollar because of the interest rate decision. So on the 4-hour time frame chart of the Australian dollar, we don't see much of the big rally on Australian dollar. There was some kind of a movement towards 6,271. That was the high of the movement. So let's just mark it, because it looks like the bears were quite active in pushing this market lower, not to break above 6,281, because this is the intraday technical resistance, quite important technical resistance. The major range for the Australian dollar is located between 6,190 and let me just take a look. The other range is roughly somewhere here around 6,411. So this is the major range, major technical resistance, major technical support. All in between is just a range. Trading local low obviously is located at the that's the yesterday's low as well. 6,222 will act as the technical support. The market stays below the 100 periods moving average, and it doesn't actually moves anywhere because this movement here is not directional. This is just a reaction for the Reserve Bank of Australia interest rate decision. So for now, we are bouncing from the extremely oversold conditions back towards the level of 50. Right now, the market is even in tighter range, 6,300 and 6,222. That's the current range. We are waiting for the breakout. What is the New Zealand dollar doing? Did the interest rate decision affect the New Zealand dollar? The situation on the 4-hour time frame chart is quite similar. We got this technical resistance tested many times, as you can see here, and finally this resistance was violated, and as you can see, we made a new low at 5,643 pips as the market extends the downside movement. However, the low was made during the extremely oversold conditions, so some kind of a bounce is now needed. We can mark as well this low here because it's intraday. It will act as the intraday technical support. Yesterday's low, obviously, but the major range on the New Zealand dollar is located between 5,580 and 5,826. This is the major range. Everything what you see on this chart between these ranges is just a simple range trading, basically. So we are waiting for the market participants to basically give us a direction. One more thing we can add here. Let me just take a look. Maybe even channel would be quite nice to have. Is this situation here? Let me just remove the magnet. Is this situation here, because we might be trading, as you can see, inside of the channel, basically. So it looks something like this. And it looks like the market is moving inside of this blue channel, so it's always a corrective movement in nature. So it's not yet a directional movement either to the upside nor to the down side. And one more market we need to talk about is SP500. All right, because as you can see, it worked very well. Our scenario worked very well. ABC to the upside and downside swing was expected, and this is what's happened. So ABC now is completed. We got the test of this level here. Let me just remove the levels. Okay, so we get now support. Support is no longer necessary. We got the resistance quite here, so that's this level 5,650. So we broke below the lows of 5,503. New low was marginal, 5,488. Nevertheless, it's still a new local low and swing low made into the definitely extremely oversold market conditions. Now we are bouncing higher towards the level of 50. However, the key to the upside is still above the level of 5,671. Only if we break above this level we can see the test of the 5,789. Otherwise, the outlook still remains bearish on the S&P 500 as well. And last but not least, the Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin doing? Not much. So we are bouncing from the extremely oversold conditions back towards the level of 50, but as you can see here, the progression with the momentum doesn't apply to the progression with the price movement, basically, because the price is still below 100 periods moving average, below this key trend line. You can take a look at the daily time frame chart. Beautiful trend line was made here. You can apply it like that. There is no problem with this, because right now you might even have two trend lines, and it still applies very well. So market respects this trend line. The bullish attempt to break above the trend line and above the supply zone was rejected. We tested the lows of 81,130. Now the market is trying to do some sort of the intraday movement to the upside towards 100 periods moving average. Let's see whether it will break above the level of 50, or it will give up and move lower to test the technical support here, and here. We spoke about it. We spoke about this technical supports many times. Let me just apply there you go. 76,562 is the key technical support. Any breakout below this level made on March 11 is another proof that the downtrend is still strong. New local low was made. Let me just take a look here. New local low was made, and the bears are in charge of the market. Please remember about the major, most important demand zone, long-term demand zone located here. You can see this green rectangle. Any breakout below this green rectangle means that the Bitcoin market might enter in the medium term bigger correction, or even bear market, because short term we got the bear market already. We got the downtrend, maybe not the bear market but the downtrend. Any breakout below this demand zone means that we have mid-term short-term downtrend, mid-term downtrend, and the bear market might be just around the corner in that situation. That's everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. So take care and bye bye.